in Nigeria. Speaking at the Saudi Africa Summit in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, President Tinubu said Nigeria is ready for business while assuring investors of some of the world's highest returns on investment. The president was quoted in a statement by his media aide Ajuri Ngelale, wished to assure all potential Saudi investors of the safety of their investment based on the sanctity of the rule of law and good returns on their investment in the largest economy in Africa. And I quote, in this regard, the benefit attached to the early inauguration of the Nigerian-Saudi Business Council cannot be overemphasized. Nigeria, like the kingdom, is diversifying its economy away from oil dependence to promote sustainable development. Tinubu stated that Nigeria is desirous of enhancing collaboration with Saudi Arabia on combating terrorist organizations such as Boko Haram, ISWAP, and other violent extremist groups which has been terrorizing the Lake Chad and Sahel regions. He said, and I quote again, Nigeria and Saudi Arabia have always enjoyed a special relationship at both the bilateral and multilateral levels within the past 6 decades over bilateral cooperation, which was initially Hajj-centric, has witnessed diversification to cover a number of areas of common interest. The Court of Appeal sitting in Lagos has affirmed the victory of Enugu State Governor Peter Mba in the March 18 governorship election. The court dismissed the appeal filed by the Labour Party governorship candidate Chijioke Edeoga as lacking in merit and upheld the judgment of the Enugu governorship election petitions tribunal delivered in September. The 3-member panel led by Justice Tijani Yusuf Azan held that the appellant failed to prove that Mba forged his National Youth Service Corps NYSC certificate and was not qualified to contest the election. The judgment comes days after the ruling of a federal high court in Abuja on Monday awarding 5 million naira in damages against the NYSC for claiming that his discharge certificate held by Mba was fake. Judge Inyak Eko held that the NYSC and its Director General were guilty of misrepresentation of material facts. The Nigerian Labour Congress NLC has said members of the union will withdraw their services and embark on a nationwide strike from Tuesday, November 14, 2023. The NLC General Secretary, Comrade Emmanuel Ugwaja, disclosed this on Friday while addressing journalists in Abuja. He explained that the decision to embark on strike was reached by the union since the government has remained silent over the torture and humiliation of the NLC President, Comrade Joe Ajaero, in Imo State. Ugwaja said since the incident, not a single arrest has been made, and as such, the union will withdraw its services until the perpetrators are arrested and prosecuted. The NLC President, Joe Ajaero, was also present at the briefing, gave an account of how he was brutalized in Imo State by men of the Imo State Police Command.
So, and you will recall that we did say from Tuesday, midnight on Monday, every Nigerian worker across the Federation will withdraw services because as we speak, the Nigerian government has kept criminal silence over the torture, humiliation, brutalization of his citizen, a citizen that has global stature. But there have been calls from all over the world to verify what transpired, what is the state of Joe Ajaero. So if people from across the world are calling and their own country is not speaking, then there is something they know we don't know. So,
not even my death could have stopped the struggle for the payment of those workers. Not if I had died in the process, the people that will take over will be more daring. And that's what we do. And that's why when you hear us say the struggle continues, any of the deputies here or any other person that will take over would have been more decisive in handling the issue in Imo. So nobody is backing out. It's a question of allowing truth to prevail. The people who are going, you pay them. And they said, I told the DSS in Abuja here that the head mistress of the primary school I attended is retiring this month. and she has not been paid for 4 years.
Meanwhile, the Inspector General of Police, IGP Kayode Adeolu Egbetokun, on Friday ordered a thorough probe into the allegation of assault on the President of the Nigerian Labour Congress, Comrade Joe Ajaero. A statement by the first spokesman, Olumuyiwa Adejobi, read the Inspector General of Police, IGP Kayode Adeolu Egbetokun, has ordered investigations into the circumstances surrounding the alleged assault on the person of the President of the Nigerian Labour Congress, Comrade Joe Ajaero. Specifically, the IGP directed the Deputy Inspector General in charge of the Force Criminal Investigation Department to take over the matter, stressing the importance of transparency and accountability in maintaining public trust. The police boss assured the public, especially the leadership of the organized labor, that a thorough and unbiased inquiry would be conducted. This, he noted, is to provide clarifications while urging organized labor and the public to remain calm, as he has personally intervened to address the issues surrounding this incident. The statement added the investigation has commenced and the Nigerian Police Force guarantees that it will be followed to a conclusive end and appropriate actions will be taken based on the findings of the investigation. The National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies, NILS, has commenced the third NILS internship program on legislative drafting. Director General of NILS, Professor Abubakar Sulaiman, disclosed this while declaring open the ceremony in Abuja. He said NILS internship program on legislative drafting is an initiative designed to provide interns with the requisite knowledge and skills in legislative drafting to enhance their capacity and equip them with the knowledge needed to actively contribute to the drafting of laws and other legislative instruments. Sulaiman said the training is important as legislative drafting is a very specialized area of law that is not taught as a regular course in the institutions of learning. He added that the initiative is NILS's commitment to bridge the gap in the acute shortage of legislative drafters in the country. Correspondent Linda Ike reports that while noting that Nigeria is taking lead in the internship initiative, hence it is the first to be organized by an African parliament, it disclosed that the leadership of the 10th National Assembly have reiterated its commitment in sustaining the initiative considering its gains and potentials. On his part, one of the facilitators who disclosed that the first part of the internship did excellently well and carried this group put effort in the training to ensure the opportunity is utilized well.
I am glad that the interns we are training this year are special ones, not because of your special outlook or glamorous looking, but because of the kind of output you have demonstrated during the screening exercise and interview. All of you have done well and demonstrated high degree of competence, enthusiasm, interest, and desire to come and learn and provide drafting services in Nigeria and the rest of the world. It is not only in Nigeria that we are running short of drafters. It is virtually the whole West African sub-region, the African continent.
This initiative is based on the commitments of our institute to bridge the gap in the acute shortage of legislative drafters in the country and indeed in West Africa, despite the increasing demand for the services of legislative drafters across the nation and subnational levels. The lucky participant in this occasion. I'm pleased to inform you that this internship initiative is the first of its kind to be organized by any African parliament, and therefore Nigeria is seen to be taking the lead and hopes that other parliaments will follow suit. It is also my pleasure to inform you that the leadership of the 10th National Assembly have reiterated its commitment in sustaining this laudable initiative, considering the gains and potential it will have in consolidating and strengthening our legislative institution.
Chairman, House Committee on Police Affairs, Maki Yaliman, has tasked members of committee to work hard to address insecurity in the country. Yaliman, who gave the charge at the inaugural meeting of the committee, said the responsibility has come at a time when there are a lot of security challenges facing many parts of the country which require urgent attention and solution. He further said the Nigerians are looking up to their representatives and leaders for urgent strengthening of law and order, protecting lives and property, and building confidence in our security institutions.
Let me remind you that the leadership of the committee will dwell more on your wealth of experience, expertise, hard work, and dedication in order to discharge functions of the committee by ensuring adequate funding for agencies under our jurisdiction, providing, using legislation, carrying out performance audit, and other allied oversight functions to great more efficient service delivery and responding to the national internal security architecture.
Should instill in police community. When you go to other security agencies, you see there's respect for the authorities. For the police, it is a
Also, Chairman, House Committee on Federal Road Maintenance Agency, FEMA, Aderemi Hussaini, assured that the committee will work with FEMA to ensure maintenance of roads in the country. Speaking further at the inaugural meeting, Hussaini said the committee's agenda is to ensure Nigerian roads are improved.
We're going to shift from our usual convention and partner with FEMA to make it FEMA that we all dream for this 10th National Assembly. Together, we will work together towards achieving the purpose of improving our road maintenance and efficiency in Nigeria. We will use instruments of effective legislation, oversight, partnership, knowledge sharing, collaboration, and adherence to best global practices to revitalize, reposition, re-engineer, and rebirth FEMA, ushering in a new era of improved road maintenance and efficiency for Nigeria as a nation.
An election observer group, IAGA Africa, has called on the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to ensure that the operational shortcomings in previous elections are properly addressed in the Saturday's off-cycle governorship elections in Bayelsa, Imo, and Kogi State. The board member, IAGA Africa, Izenwa Nwagu, made a call on Friday while addressing newsmen during a pre-election conference in Abuja. Nwagu stated that the commitment of INEC, security agencies, and other stakeholders must restore public confidence in the November 11 polls, adding that election officers must be individuals of proven integrity and impeccable character to ensure transparency in the process. IAGA, however, urged voters to resist effort to purchase their vote, turn out in their numbers, and vote accordingly to their preference at the polls.
Level of preparedness, security agencies, and the executive to restoring public confidence in the electoral process will be tested again in Saturday's polls. As the pre-election climate in this state suggests, they are high-stake elections with the potential for violence. Nigerians in this state desire a safe environment to cast their ballots without violence, suppression, or intimidation. As these voters proceed to the polls, they expect timely deployment of election materials, early commencement of accreditation and voting.
INEC should ensure the operational shortcomings in previous elections are properly addressed ahead of the elections, especially with respect to the early deployment of election materials to all polling units. Collation and returning officers deployed in the election should be individuals of proven integrity and impeccable character. INEC should ensure effective oversight to enforce compliance with the provisions of the Electoral Act 2022 and guidelines on results bulletins. Number 3, INEC should ensure proper and timely communication with stakeholders on election day process, including highlighting their challenges experienced and immediate plans to address those challenges to inspire citizens' confidence.
Governor Ademola Adeleke has flagged all free enrollment of 23,000 pensioners in Osun State into the Osun Health Insurance Scheme, OHIS. After flagging of the enrollment, Governor Adeleke said the free gesture, which is part of top priorities in his electoral promises, will ensure that all pensioners in the state have access to free healthcare in any government health facility of their choice. The governor said the funding of the free enrollment will have no negative impact on staff welfare. Speaking, the Executive Secretary of Osun Health Insurance Scheme, Dr. Razak Akindele, said once enrollment cards are ready after registration, the pensioners can access free healthcare service at any government health facility in the country. Dr. Akindele said the agency has been directed by Governor Adeleke to also enroll 20,000 vulnerable individuals in the state into the scheme free of charge immediately after the turn of the pensioners. He noted that the state is setting a pace for others to follow, as he revealed that the governor has ordered 100% payment of training fee for resident doctors in the state. In their appreciations, pensioners in the state described the governor as God sent for deeming it fit to enroll them on the scheme and for being proactive in responding to their demands.
My commitment is not our commitment to the well-being of our entire citizens. These are men and women who meritoriously serve the state. They deserve all the support now that they are out of service. My dear fellow citizens, when I was campaigning at the campaign, I told you your care will be my top priority.
In fact, when we initially got the statistic, we got 11,000 pensioners. That was the statistic we got. But that statistic did not include the contributory pensioners, who are the recent pensioners. The statistics now stands at 23,000 pensioners. And we are going to enroll all the 23,000 pensioners.
The registration of our members into these OHIS, we appreciate it more than giving us money even. Since the inception of Osun State, as I have said, there is no single governor that has attended our Elders' Day ceremony or Elders' Day anniversary.
We thank God for this program. We appreciate our governor, Jackson Ademola Adeleke, for this special program. We don't see all these things since creation of states.
And that's all from the local scene. We go on a quick break to bring you foreign stories. Please stay tuned. Welcome back now to foreign stories. The Hamas government in the Gaza Strip said Friday an Israeli strike on the territory's largest hospital killed 13 people. And I quote, 13 martyrs and dozens wounded in an Israeli strike on Al-Shifa compound today in central Gaza City. A government statement said, given a toll, AFP was not immediately able to independently verify. Al-Shifa Hospital Director Mohammed Abu Salmiya said Israel tanks fired on Al-Shifa Hospital while the Israeli military did not offer an immediate comment. Israel reported heavy fighting on Thursday near the hospital, saying it had killed dozens of militants and destroyed tunnels that are key to Hamas' capacity to fight. The Israeli army has repeatedly accused Hamas of using hospitals, particularly Al-Shifa, to coordinate the attacks against the army and also has idled for its commanders. Hamas authorities and doctors deny their accusations. U.S. President Joe Biden and China's President Xi Jinping are to meet next week in the San Francisco Bay Area, two senior administration officials said. The encounter of 15 November will be only their second face-to-face meeting during the Biden presidency. It will be wide-ranging, U.S. officials said, with the Israel-Hamas war, Taiwan, war in Ukraine, and election interference to be discussed. Relations between the two countries deteriorated earlier this year. The U.S. accused China of sending a spy balloon across its airspace. An American warplane shot it down off the coast of South Carolina. There was also a visit to Taiwan last year by then Speaker Nancy Pelosi, which led China to break off communication between the two nations' militaries. Mr. Biden is determined to restore those channels, U.S. officials said, but China appeared reluctant to do so. And up next, a sport-related story. Please stay with us. Welcome back. Now, talking sport. Mikel Arteta has warned Aaron Ramsdale not to rush any decision over his future after the goalkeeper was told he could not be promised a place at Euro 2024 if he remains on the bench at Arsenal. Ramsdale was this week called up by England manager Gareth Southgate for the final two qualifiers against Malta and North Macedonia and will be aiming to add this to his 4 senior caps. However, the 24-year-old had been ousted as Arsenal's first-choice goalkeeper since the arrival of David Raya from Brentford and has played just twice since the September international break. Speaking after naming his latest squad, Southgate said of Ramsdale's plight is still battling to be the number 1 at Arsenal, and his profile and the way he can use the ball with his feet would think that's important. Manchester United manager Erik ten Hag admitted Friday he's not happy with Marcus Rashford's firm but remains convinced the England forward will get back to his best this season. Rashford disputed red card in Copenhagen on Wednesday contributed to a dramatic United collapse as they blew a 2-0 lead and conceded 2 late goals to lose 4-3, dropping to the bottom of Group A in the Champions League with 2 games left. Gareth Southgate kept faith with the 26-year-old by naming in his England squad on Thursday, but a player who scored 30 goals for United in all competitions last season has only won from 15 appearances for the club this term. Ten Hag has also insisted that the side are due a turnaround in fortune despite collapsing to a 4-3 defeat at FC Copenhagen that left the Red Devils close to exiting the Champions League. And that's it on the Primetime News tonight. Many thanks for watching. I am Teresa Adeyemi. Do have a great night. Good night. Thank you, Jesus.